Tulsi Gabbard, who, as you guys know, former Democrat Tulsi Gabbard, she endorsed a whole bunch of Republicans and campaigned with a whole bunch of Republicans before this election. It did not turn out that well, but I can tell you that I know Tulsi believes she did the right thing, and you don't always win everything in politics. Well, she's still beating the drum on the issues that she cares about. One of the big ones is tech censorship. So although the candidates that she was backing did not do that well, her star, to me, is still on the rise because she's still positioned as sort of a center-right, sane person, ex-lib kind of thing. So she was guest hosting for Tucker Carlson last night, and she had a nice monologue when it came to how Democrats work with big tech to actually subvert democracy.
Unfortunately, while in Bali today, instead of delivering a necessary message of unity to all Americans, President Biden chose to attack half the country, once again implying that the only acceptable Democratic outcome is a win for the Democratic Party.
Let me start with a few words about the recent elections held in the United States. What we saw was the strength and resilience of American democracy, and we saw it in action. And the American people proved once again that democracy is who we are. And there was a strong rejection of election deniers at every level, from those seeking to lead our states.
As long as the Democratic Party and the permanent Washington elite are working hand in hand with Google and Facebook, and as long as Google is allowed to continue to use its monopoly power to skew public opinion in a certain direction, literally manipulating the information that we as voters are allowed to see, then there is no democracy. A recent study by researchers at North Carolina State University found that Google's email service, Gmail, quote, retained the majority of left-wing candidate emails while sending, quote, the majority of right-wing candidate emails to the spam folder. Now, additionally, Google has greatly reduced the visibility of various conservative websites in its search results.
Yeah. She's kind of right on that, and it reminded me of the clip that we showed you yesterday of Senator Marco Rubio talking about how the chips are so stacked against those of us that believe in freedom, right? I don't even want to say conservatives. Those of us that roughly believe in freedom and that America is a decent place. You've got big tech against you. You've got all the corporate power against you. You've got the cultural hegemony against you. The fact that these elections are so close and that Republicans don't do all this early drop-off stuff and early voting and all that, right? Generally, Republicans tend to show up on election day. And like that paper trail, oh, I filled this thing out, I dropped it in myself, they're going to count it right then and there. We're going to have some transparency when it comes to these elections. Marco Rubio, what he was saying was the fact that all of that stuff is against us and these elections are close show you that actually we do have the right ideas. That's really the same thing that Tulsi is talking about there. That in essence, with so much misinformation that is promoted by Democrats, such as Sunny Hostin, right? 28-year-old voting. That's what the Republicans want, even though she completely made it up. The fact that we are able to keep these things as close as we can shows you we've got something good here, and we just have to figure out how to fight back better.